Microplastics have emerged as a hidden contaminant in our food supply, particularly in fruits and vegetables. Unlike surface residues that can be washed away, these tiny plastic particles are often embedded deep within the produce itself. Recent scientific reviews have confirmed that microplastics are not just present on the outside, but are integrated into the tissues of the foods we eat. This revelation underscores the importance of understanding how microplastics enter our food chain and what implications they may have for our health. By examining the latest research, we can gain a clearer picture of this invisible threat and its potential impact on our daily lives. Microplastics are tiny fragments of plastic, typically less than 5 millimeters in size, while nanoplastics are even smaller and invisible to the naked eye. These particles have become widespread in the environment, found in oceans, rivers, and increasingly in agricultural soils. Farming practices such as the use of plastic mulches, fertilizers derived from treated waste, and contaminated irrigation water all contribute to the accumulation of microplastics in soil. Once present, these particles can be absorbed by plant roots, bypassing natural barriers and traveling throughout the plant's tissues. As a result, microplastics become embedded within fruits and vegetables, making them impossible to remove through washing alone. Recent scientific investigations have revealed extensive microplastic contamination in both agricultural soils and water sources across Europe. In France, a comprehensive study found that the majority of soil samples, especially those from farmland and vineyards, contained microplastics. The contamination is largely attributed to agricultural practices, including the use of plastic mulching, fertilizers derived from organic residual products, and wastewater irrigation. Additionally, microplastics are deposited from the atmosphere, further contributing to their spread. Similar patterns have been observed in European rivers, where microplastics are present in every major waterway, highlighting the pervasive nature of this pollution and its multiple sources. Scientific studies have confirmed that microplastics are present in a variety of commonly consumed fruits and vegetables, such as apples, carrots, lettuce, and broccoli. These tiny plastic particles can become embedded within plant tissues, making them impossible to remove through washing. Research indicates that microplastics can cause stress in plants, interfering with their ability to absorb water and nutrients. This stress response may lead to stunted growth and could potentially reduce the nutritional value of the produce. The widespread presence of microplastics in agricultural products highlights a growing concern for both plant health and food quality. The health risks of consuming microplastics remain a subject of ongoing scientific debate. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, current evidence does not indicate a direct threat to human health from the levels of microplastics found in food, though the agency acknowledges that more research is needed. Independent studies, however, have raised concerns about possible effects, including inflammation and oxidative stress, which are linked to chronic diseases. Microplastics may also act as Trojan horses, carrying harmful pollutants and pathogens into the body. While definitive conclusions have yet to be reached, these findings highlight the importance of continued investigation into the long-term impacts of microplastic exposure through our diet. Recent studies have revealed that nanoplastics, due to their extremely small size, can move through the human body in ways previously thought impossible. Researchers have detected these particles in human blood and various tissues, raising concerns about their ability to cross sensitive biological barriers such as the placenta and the blood-brain barrier. This means nanoplastics could potentially reach and affect organs that are typically protected from larger contaminants. However, the long-term health effects of this exposure remain largely unknown, as scientific understanding is still developing. Ongoing research is essential to clarify the risks and mechanisms involved, highlighting the urgent need for more comprehensive studies in this area. The presence of microplastics in fruits and vegetables is now well documented, with recent studies confirming widespread contamination in agricultural soils and water sources. While regulatory agencies like the FDA currently do not consider the levels found in food to pose a direct health risk, scientific opinion remains divided, and independent research continues to raise important questions about potential long-term effects. The complexity of microplastic exposure, coupled with evolving detection methods, means that our understanding is still developing. As evidence grows, ongoing research will be crucial to clarify the health implications and guide future public health recommendations. This evolving field underscores the need for vigilance and informed decision-making as we learn more about microplastics in our food supply. Hearing all this, it's easy to feel a bit helpless. But you're not. The science and good old common sense point to real steps we can take. The solutions exist on 3 levels: what we can do, what the industry needs to do, and what governments must do. Let's start with what you can control today. First, change how you shop. Whenever you can, pick loose fruits and veggies instead of the ones in plastic bags or clamshells. Bring your own reusable produce bags. This cuts down on plastic and tells the market you want something different. Second, rethink your kitchen. Wash all your produce thoroughly. It won't get the plastics inside the food, but it can wash off surface particles. Store your food in glass or stainless steel instead of plastic, especially for hot food. Some studies have found that heating plastic containers, like in a microwave, can release a shocking number of plastic particles. And maybe swap that plastic cutting board for wood or bamboo to avoid scraping tiny plastic bits into your meal prep. Third, boil and filter your water. Tap water generally has fewer microplastics than bottled water, and a good filter can reduce them even more. In fact, some studies have found that simply boiling and filtering your water through a coffee strainer may be a lot safer than drinking water from a plastic bottle. Fourth, focus on a whole foods diet. Ultra-processed foods often involve more plastic in their manufacturing and packaging. Plus, here's a hopeful thought. Some research is looking into whether the natural antioxidants in colorful foods, like the anthocyanins that make berries red and purple, might help our bodies fight the inflammation microplastics can cause. It's speculative, but a diet rich in these foods is a good idea anyway. On a bigger scale, agriculture and industry have to change. The Sharma Review calls for phasing out things like plastic mulch films and, most importantly, stopping the use of plastic-contaminated sewage sludge as fertilizer. Finally, we need better rules. Global negotiations for a plastic pollution treaty are underway, and in the U.S., legislative proposals have been introduced to push for more federally funded research. Your voice as a citizen, supporting these kinds of policies, is one of the most powerful tools there is. Conclusion. Science is telling us that the plastic we've created is now showing up on our plates and in the systems of our bodies. The review by Sharma and his team confirms that microplastics are in our farm soil and are being integrated into our fruits and vegetables. We've seen how they get into the food chain and explored the serious health questions that scientists are racing to answer. But the story doesn't end there. By making smarter choices in the grocery store, changing a few habits in our kitchens, and demanding better from companies and governments, we can push back. Understanding the problem is the first step. Now you're equipped to be part of the solution. If you found this breakdown of the science valuable, please share this video. Getting the word out is how real change begins. And for more explainers on the research shaping our world, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.